Hello, I'm DarcyFizz. Today I'm going to be looking at a custom Pokemon idea I had back in August of 2023. This is inspired by my girlfriend's favorite Planeswalker, Liliana, and the yet-to-be-released future expansion, Bloomburrow. Putting those two things together, we have this cute mouse version of Liliana as a Pokemon. I specifically wanted a Pokemon that reflected the Magic Origins version of Liliana, where she is this healer on the front, and then the card transforms into her evolution, a Necromancer Planeswalker on the back. For this, I quickly threw in just a generic mouse shape, and I wanted to add a little bit of fluff around the neck that's still part of the Pokemon, but to give it a bit more of a texture and a bit more of a flair to it. This is more of a simple hood of a healer right now, but later in the evolution we can see more of a cloak of a Necromancer. For now though, the main focus I wanted was that this Pokemon would carry around a berry and use it to heal other Pokemon. This is a healer after all. Also, they start out as normal type. They aren't a Necromancer yet. They're just a person. It's kind of amazing that Liliana's front face is still black aligned despite just being a nice, helpful person. I kind of love that, actually. I know you kind of have to do it the way that Magic works, but it's just, I like black mana, and I like it when it's not all doom and gloom. Liliana's a really cool look at that, honestly. Anyway, here we have Nezukari from Nezumi and Apothecary, and literally carrying around a berry, and maybe one other secret, subtle influence, which we'll talk about a bit later. Nezukari is defined by the special ability that I gave them called Berry Remedy. This is something that I made up to allow them to give the berry that they're holding to another Pokemon when they are swapped in to replace them. That Pokemon will then immediately consume the berry and get its effects, which I thought would be a fun way of representing a healer in a Pokemon setting, since berries can heal or remove status conditions or whatever they need to be doing. Now, of course, we need to evolve Nezukari into a Necromancer, so things can't be too perfect for our little friend here, or they'll just stay a good normal mouse forever. We need to give them a little bit of heartbreak. So, their evolution method is, if Nezukari is swapped into battle to replace a fainted ally, they have no one to share their berry with, as it is too late to save their fallen ally. At the end of battle, Nezukari will evolve if at or above level 25. So you have to have a fainted ally and replace them with Nezukari for the effect to go off, which I think is a fun reflection of how Liliana actually works in the game, but also a really interesting different way of evolving a Pokemon in Pokemon. If you were playing a Nuzlocke, for example, you don't want your allies dying, but if they do, well, now you get to level up your Nezukari into something greater. And so, of course, Nezukari evolves into the Necromancer version, the dark, twisted, not so kind, not such a healer anymore. First, I wanted to make sure that I was redrawing a mouse, keeping a lot of the similar proportions, but clearly older, larger, a bigger, more sort of upstanding version. That's a weird way of saying that, but you know what I mean. I ended up bringing down the opacity to be more of like a white lab rat kind of a thing, as opposed to like a field mouse that she originally was. And I, of course, needed to bring in that iconic yellow headdress thing that Liliana wears. But I wanted it to be incorporated into the Pokemon's design, so it's more like a swath of hair than it's supposed to actually be like ornamentation. We have the fur that was originally around Nezukari's neck, extended down into a whole fur coat type thing and dress. Originally I tried something with legs or like something else going on down there, and I couldn't make it work, so I just had it sort of become this cool dress instead and have her floating, which feels very appropriate to me. As she evolves, I wanted Nezukari to maintain this normal type, but gain a dark type. She is dabbling in darker ways, but she's still just a person at the end of the day. She's still normal, and I think that's really fun. I really like the normal type, it's my favorite, so I had to get it in there, and this cute mouse, at the end of the day, it's not some being of darkness. They're someone who's learned how to use the darkness. Nezukari has now evolved into mortuary. From mortuary, still apothecary, but now also carry like the character that goes a little haywire and blows up people's minds. I've never actually seen Carrie, I don't know a lot about it, but it felt like a very appropriate reference to pull into the Liliana story. Honestly, I was trying to come up with a riff on Nezukari, and my girlfriend came up with Mortuary. It's a brilliant usage, considering it sounds so close to Mortuary already. Now, Mortuary no longer has the healer berry remedy ability, as she is not a healer anymore. She's a necromancer. So instead, as she evolves, the ability changes from berry remedy to tainted remedy, which is literally a card that Liliana's on, just for an extra spice. Mortuary have learned to embrace their fallen allies and draw strength from them. When swapped in to replace an ally who has fainted, Mortuary gains each stat boost they had at that time. I don't know if this would actually work. I don't know if the game would actually support such an ability, and I think this could be potentially incredibly powerful. But you do have to have someone actually faint to get the effect. But still, you load somebody up with like dragon dances or whatever, you can keep hitting that button without worrying that you're gonna lose your opportunity to actually start swinging back after setting up, because you don't care if they die, because Mortuary just takes all the buffs. It sounds really powerful in the right setup, and I'm a little scared of it, but hey, this is all for fun, and I think it's a really cool idea for an ability. So that is Nezukari and their evolution Mortuary, based off of Liliana, with a little bit of Bloomburrow mixed in. I was really excited to do a whole series of these for all of the original Planeswalkers, and I got burnt out real fast. I drew like a really phoned in version of Chandra, which maybe we'll do that one someday if people want to see it, but I wanted at least to make this video because I'm really happy with Nezukari and Mortuary. I'm really proud of them, and I wanted to share them with you all. Alright. Have a good night, everyone. I've been Darcy Bits. I'll see you next time.